Most people think hitting $2,000 a month in dividends takes a lifetime of saving. It actually comes down to one number most beginners never calculate. That number is your yield on cost, and once you understand it, the timeline shrinks faster than any financial calculator will show you. The problem is that YouTube and finance blogs give you best-case assumptions. Maximum yield, maximum contributions, no taxes, no fees, perfect reinvestment. And none of that is the world you actually live in. In this video, I'm going to show you the real math. What a realistic starting amount, a realistic yield, and a realistic contribution schedule actually produces, month by month, until you hit that $2,000 milestone. Because the gap between the fantasy timeline and the honest one is exactly where most beginners give up. And you don't have to. Picture this. It's a Tuesday night. You're staring at your bank account. Not because something went wrong exactly, but because nothing is going right. You did everything you were supposed to do. You got the job. You show up every Monday. The paycheck hits, and then it leaves. Rent, utilities, groceries, the car payment that never seems to end. And somewhere underneath all of that, there is this quiet, grinding awareness that if you stopped working, even for a month, everything falls apart. That's not a money problem. That's a structure problem. Your income is fully attached to your time, and every dollar you spend is a dollar that could have been working for you instead. And the worst part? Most people stay in that loop their entire career, not because they didn't try, but because nobody ever showed them how the exit actually works, with honest numbers, not motivational math. Meet Sarah, 29 years old, works in logistics, brings home about $52,000 a year after taxes. She's not broke, but she's not free either. She has about $4,000 in savings and the vague sense that she should be investing, but no real map for where it leads or how long it actually takes to get somewhere that matters. Sound familiar? Here is exactly what this video is going to show you. 1. The single number that controls your dividend timeline, and why most beginners never hear about it. 2. The honest math, real yield, real contributions, realistic reinvestment, broken into year-by-year milestones. 3. What the journey actually feels like emotionally, and why the middle of it is where most people quit, and how Sarah didn't. Stick with this to the end because the full timeline reveal, the actual number of years it takes to hit $2,000 a month, is coming, and it is more specific and more reachable than anything you've seen on this topic before. If you are tired of working and watching every dollar disappear with nothing left building for you, this channel is built specifically for that frustration. Subscribe now, because every video here is about one thing: using dividend income to rebuild your financial structure from the ground up with real numbers and no fluff. Before we get to the math, I need to plant a question that most beginners never think to ask. And I'm going to come back to it at the halfway point of this video, because the answer will completely change how you look at your timeline. The question is this: why do two investors with the same amount of money, the same dividend ETF, and the same monthly contribution end up with completely different timelines to $2,000 a month? We will come back to that. Hold it, back to Sarah. She starts with $4,000. She decides to invest $500 a month. A number she's stretched to reach, but it's consistent. She picks a diversified dividend-focused ETF with a starting yield of 4%. Not the highest yield available, not the lowest. A sustainable, historically grounded 4%. This is important. We are not using 6% yield assumptions to make the math look good. We are using 4% because that's the yield that holds up across market cycles, doesn't require chasing junk bonds, and doesn't disappear the moment the market sneezes. In year 1, Sarah's $4,000 initial investment earns her $160 in dividends. Over the full year, she adds $6,000 more from her monthly contributions. Her total invested by end of year 1, just over $10,000. Annual dividends, roughly $400. Monthly dividend income, $33. $33, not $2,000, $33. And here is what I need you to sit with before we go further, because most people see that number and think the whole idea is broken. But there's a compounding mechanism that kicks in around year 3 that completely changes the math, and I'm going to show you exactly what it does. Let's walk through this honestly year by year with reinvestment included, meaning every dividend Sarah earns gets put back in, buying more shares, which pay more dividends. Year 2, Sarah now has a roughly $16,500 invested. At 4% yield, she is earning about $660 annually, $55 a month. Year 3, $23,000. Annual dividends, $920. Monthly, $77. Year 4, $29,800. Dividends crossing $1,100 a year. Monthly, just under $100. Now pay attention, because year 5 is where the character of this journey starts to change. And it's not just because of the numbers. Year 5, $37,000 invested. Annual dividends, roughly $1,480. Monthly dividend income, $123. That is still not $2,000 a month. But here is what has changed. Sarah's dividend income alone is now covering her phone bill, her internet, and a portion of her grocery budget every single month, without her doing any additional work. That is not a retirement account. That is not a savings account. That is a piece of her monthly budget that her money is now paying for instead of her labor. That psychological shift, the moment your assets start covering real line items in your life, is what researchers at Princeton call a structural decoupling of income from time. When passive income covers even a fraction of your obligations, your nervous system responds differently to your job. You are not desperate anymore. And that changes every negotiation, every conversation, every Monday morning. But here's what that actually means for you practically. You are 1/3 of the way to $2,000 a month by year 5, and the acceleration is just beginning. I want you to pause for a second, not literally, keep watching, but ask yourself, where are you right now? Are you at 0, not yet started? Are you somewhere in the first 3 years watching that monthly number creep up in single digits and wondering if this is worth it? Or are you further along, past 5 years, already feeling that first moment where your dividends covered something real? Hold your answer, because in about 2 minutes, I'm going to show you something that will make your specific stage feel completely different. And I need to come back to Sarah, because year 7 is where something breaks. Not her portfolio, her mindset, and the way she handles it determines everything. Year 6, $45,000 invested. Annual dividends, $1,800. Monthly, $150. Year 7, $54,000. Annual dividends, $2,160. Monthly, $180. Sarah has now been doing this for 7 years. She started at $33 a month and she's at $180. And here is the problem. Because in year 7, a friend at work tells her he put $10,000 into a high-yield fund, paying 9%, and is already making $75 a month. Sarah has 7 years of discipline, and she's only at 180. He has 7 months, and he's already at 75. The math looks embarrassing, but there is a number Sarah knows that her coworker doesn't. Here is what I need you to feel right now. Not calculate, feel. Sarah has been building something her coworker has not. He has a yield, she has a system. And the difference between those two things is not visible in a spreadsheet until year 10. His 9% fund is paying 9% of current market value. If the fund drops 30%, which high-yield funds frequently do, his 9% yield just became a 9% yield on a much smaller number, and his share count hasn't grown because the yield left no room for price. Appreciation. Sarah's 4% fund has quietly been compounding share count this entire time. Her yield on cost, the yield she earns on her original dollars invested, is now 5.3% and climbing. That is the number I told you about at the beginning. And right now, watching Sarah almost quit in year 7 is exactly where that number saves the whole story. Yield on cost is not the yield printed on the fund today. It is the yield you personally earn based on what you actually paid for your shares. When Sarah bought in at 4% and reinvested every dividend, she accumulated more shares at various prices. As those shares grew in value and the dividends grew with them, the income she earns on her original cost basis climbed well above 4%. By year 7, Sarah's portfolio is not a 4% yielding portfolio for her. It is a 5.3% portfolio on her personal cost. By year 12, projections put her yield on cost near 6.8%. That is the hidden accelerator that no financial calculator shows, because it is unique to each investor's entry price and reinvestment history. And this is why two investors with identical portfolios can have dramatically different timelines, which is exactly the question I planted at the beginning. We are almost ready to close that loop. Year 8, $63,000. Monthly dividends, $210. Year 9, $73,000. Monthly dividends, $255. Year 10, $84,000 invested. But with yield on cost now climbing, Sarah's effective yield on her portfolio is closer to 5%. Annual dividend income, $4,200. Monthly, $350. Now the compounding curve bends. I'm going to show you the exact year Sarah crosses $2,000 a month. And I want you to notice what happens to the pace starting in year 11, because it's different from everything that came before. Year 11, $96,000 invested. Effective yield climbing. Monthly dividends, $430. Year 12, $109,000. Monthly dividends, $620. Year 13, $123,000. Monthly dividends, $860. Year 14, $138,000. Monthly dividends, $1,140. Year 15, $154,000 invested. Yield on cost now approaching 7%. Monthly dividends, $1,890. Year 16, $171,000. Monthly dividends, just over $2,000. 16 years. That is the honest answer, with a $4,000 start, $500 a month in contributions, a 4% starting yield, full reinvestment, and realistic compounding. Not 25 years, not 40. 16 years from the first deposit to $2,000 a month in dividend income, with a portfolio worth roughly $171,000, generating that income sustainably, without touching the principal. Now here's what makes that number feel different than any calculator will show you. If Sarah increases her monthly contribution to $750, something she may be able to do as her career advances, the same math puts her at $2,000 a month by year 12. If she starts with $10,000 instead of 4, the timeline drops further. Every variable you control accelerates the curve. The 16-year number is the conservative, honest, no heroics version. And it ends with $2,000 a month arriving, whether Sarah works that month or not. Sarah, the 29-year-old who started with $4,000 and $33 a month in dividends, is 45 years old with $2,020 landing in her account every month from assets she built. Not a pension she earned by staying at one company for decades. Not a retirement account she cannot touch without penalty. A live, growing, liquid income stream that runs in the background of her life. Her job didn't disappear, but it stopped being something she depends on to survive. That is not a small thing. That is an entirely different relationship with Monday morning. That question I planted at the beginning, why two investors with identical portfolios, identical contributions, and identical starting yields end up with completely different timelines, the answer is yield on cost. It is personal. It is invisible to outside tools, and it accelerates silently in the background of every year you stay consistent and reinvest. Financial calculators show you a static yield on a current balance. They cannot show you the compounding yield your specific entry prices produce over time. That is the edge that patient, consistent dividend investors hold. And it only shows up after year 8 or 9, which is exactly when most people quit. Now, if 16 years feels like a long time and you want to understand every practical move that makes that timeline shorter, the next video you need to watch is the one I built specifically for that question. It is called 5 Ways to Build Passive Income in 5 Years Using Dividend Income. And it goes beyond the math into the specific structural moves that compress the timeline. How to maximize your starting yield responsibly, how to sequence your contributions for maximum early compounding, and how to think about income replacement as a layered strategy, not a single target. The link is in the description and on your screen right now. Do not skip that video if this one landed for you. It picks up exactly where this one ends. If the timeline in this video made $2,000 a month feel real and reachable for the first time, that next video is going to show you how to move faster. Click it now. One question before you go, and I genuinely want to read your answer in the comments. Based on the math in this video, where are you right now on the path to $2,000 a month? Year 0? Year 3? Somewhere in the middle. Drop your current monthly dividend income below, even if it's $4, because seeing where everyone is starting is the most motivating thing on this channel.